Alright, this is the devlog number 2. So for today, we're going to be looking more on the interaction system of Station. Now, Station's interaction system is a little different, but similar, very, very similar to most horror games. Um, I think let's just get into it. I think it'd be better to show you for this interaction system. So we're gonna go into our demo scene, and you'll see in this demo scene that we've actually added quite a couple of things. One being the new Hunter AI. Now this AI still hasn't been programmed to learn. It more or less just knows where you are based on a hint system, just like Alien Isolation. So what it will do is, you'll know, it will first like the system will kind of give hints on the nearest player's location, and then after what's it called, and periodically that location will update and it will search the radius, and if it finds you, then it will go instantly into a chase state. Now if it goes into a chase state, um, it will, as long as it maintains line of sight, it'll continue to follow you. However, the moment you become out of line of sight, it will switch into an investigation state where it will search the area that it last spotted you. And if it finds you again, it will go back into chase state. However, if it cannot find you, it'll go into a sort of patrol mode where it'll go back to its default, where it's just giving hints on where you're at. So the AI never actually loses sight of you. Well, not loses sight, but never actually loses you inside the procedurally generated environment. If it did, maybe you got too far from it, right? Or maybe you switched biomes, the AI would despawn and it spawn on the new biome that you just actively did. So I'll probably add more enemies like this in the future. This is just kind of like a very base prototype. And you'll notice that with a lot of these different interaction systems, these are all prototypes. So they're going to look a lot more smoother. Right now, I'm just focusing on gameplay and making sure everything actually works before beauty. I feel like a lot of games just focus on, oh, we have these, these beautiful graphics, uh, 4 4K score 4K visuals. Like it's not all that, I think games should focus more on gameplay rather than visuals. Um, and there's some exceptional cases in certain games, but for the most part, games I feel like are flocking to Unreal Engine and all that for the ease. Unreal Engine makes prototyping very easy, right? And it also has really stunning graphics. Not like, dude, Unreal Engine is crazy beautiful, but the performance that games take, especially like these newer ones that are coming out of Unreal Engine, the performance just isn't there. You need higher, you need better to call like PCs. You can't just like get away with a low end PC playing those games. Otherwise, it's just gonna turn into a fire. So I feel like games should be optimizing better. Gameplay and just it's called optimization first. Then you could focus um, on the actual visuals. And optimization is just always part of that process. But I think it's even more so part of that process in the late stages. But right now, it's still optimization. Simplify your code. Make sure that you're not doing anything unnecessary that could also affect your frame rate. To call just the processes going around in the game. So let's go back to this AI. I'll sort of demonstrate, and I didn't go over the last chase state, not the last chase state, but the last state. If the AI is in your range for like 10 seconds, it'll just run away. This is sometimes, because sometimes in games when the AI kills a player, it kind of just lingers, right, on that body. And I can just make it so as soon as it kills a player, it runs away. But one, my player doesn't die right now, and two, I feel like this is a little better, just in that regard, in case it wants to chase and kill somebody else. Um, Yeah, so let's go into the game. Now, this first little part I'm going to focus on is more AI and is more AI based. Hopefully this will boot up. If not, probably have to ask manager, but no, it's looking like it's going to boot up. Right. So we're just going to ignore this. Just set that this works for now. I'll go into it later. So this is the AI section. So I think my... Ooh. Oh damn, he already found me. That was quick. Okay, so he's gonna be chasing me for a little bit, right? Watch him run away in a couple seconds. Yep, he's gonna run away. Once he meets a certain distance or he's running away for a certain time, go right back into the control state. Now these hints, so you see that I'm his current target, right? He's looking for me. This blue thing is kind of like the hint area. So this is where his destination is going to be. This is where he's being hinted at. So he'll search this area, but if I move out, right, that hint will update pretty fast. So you don't have to worry about as long as you're on the move. You know, he won't find you. He can find you. Trust me, he will find you. But so that, and then because he didn't find me, um, where he's going. Going. Oh, he found me. Okay. So now that he finds me, right? If I go here, he's gonna slowly go back, right? And he's gonna try to investigate. So this was my last known position, and he's trying to get to that position. But I'm just gonna run. And once he's there, he'll search the area for a little bit. Um, he's just gonna search the area. And right now, that little staircase doesn't do a great job of showing him searching, but he's up. Oh, now he's gonna find me. Run. Like, so maybe his perception is a little bit. I think I was too far from him, but that probably needs. That's fine. Oh. If I'm in his vision, then yeah, it needs to go a little further. These green dots represent just what they're hitting. These rays are hitting. So right now they're just he's just looking at the wall pretty much. And I'll change, make that a little smoother later to make him feel more alive, and also add in certain habits that he'll do depending on the player's depending on the player's the player that he's chasing, the way he plays. Um, that'll help make the AI a little smarter and adaptable. So we're gonna get out of this little testing zone here. This is just simple. Okay? He cannot go past that. So let's focus on this. So I added an interactor system. So every time, let me do a better job in Gizmo. So this little green cube, right? That's where my cursor is. So if I'm gonna interact with it, right, I can interact with it here. If I don't, if I'm like right over here, I can't interact with it. Okay, I'm clicking right now. But if I click there, boom, it goes. And obviously, if I press again, it'll. Whoop, there we go. Press again. Maybe we gotta edit the delay. This is done via a kind of like a sphere trace, right? Where if I hit that, right, it'll trigger a button events, and if I want it to do a certain thing, like if I want to put multiple buttons in a certain prefab, I just give it an ID number, so that way it'll trigger a certain event in the script. But this little video is more or less on these systems. So this is my save system. So if I were to take this out, right, this is my player little save box. If I were to take this out, right, then the code. there'd be nothing left. I'll tell you. I'll show you. As you saw, the cart was there, right? But if I reload it, the cart should no longer be there. So if we go here, this, the cart will no longer be there because I took it out, and if I entered and exit, it's saved. So I'll probably have to do like different things to kind of stop player. Maybe like a player like puts it close to the edge, and they can just like kind of grab it, and it'll still save there, but I can still use it for other things. So I'll probably have to change that in the future. So this right here will just reset all your items. And this is for debugging. This probably won't be in the action, unless players just want to clear all their saved items. And this is the, oop, this at the time. This is the quest system. So in this game, there are different quests. I didn't want to just make players do a certain task. I want players to be able to explore and do different things. And this quest system kind of helps aid that. So the players don't just feel forced to do certain things. But every quest is for all players. So a player will determine, it could be the host, it could be a client, what quests they want to take on. Maybe I can make like a little voting system, so they, so they can, maybe we can make a little voting system, just so one player just doesn't instantly tap a quest and everyone's like, what the fuck, bro, So they do different things. I think one of my favorites is probably either no allies or extract stuck bro. This one you just have to extract a player. The player will, I don't know if I'm gonna make it where he dies or what I want when the extraction happens, but it just should be like a little funny experience. And I'll add like 50 or so of these quests just so there's some variability. But let's go back to the quests. So if I'm in it, right? It'll assign a quest. I can just make it so if you click a button on your tablet, you'll get the quest assigned. And now, and so the quest is hard life, right? So the hard life is quest 1119. So all players must be alive in the end to survive the game. I can't read. All players must be alive and survive the game, right? It's a very hard quest. I'll probably put the reward to higher. But so right now the game is just still in a prototype stage. So if I were to, there's no way that quest would ever be completed. So this is why I have the green debug, this is why I have the green debug, which it'll just automatically complete any quest I give, any quest I have, just so I can see if it's working or not properly. So it is. So right now I have received $1,000, and this will be split among all alive players. So there will be sort of like what's it called, an economy system game. The economy system is still in progress, but it's getting there. So you'll know that I've also added a pickup system. So this pickup system will act as the side, way to get some cash inside the game. So you're not limited to just one thing. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to. So by pressing left mouse button, I can sort of rotate it, right, to wherever I need. And I have full control over it, so that's something to be aware of. And I can pick up different items and put it in the basket and just empty the basket. Now, this is the extraction system. So this item here is worth, I can tell you right now, this item here is worth, where is it? Oh, $20. Okay, this item's worth 20 bucks. And this item over here is worth 50. They're both the same item. I'm just testing purposes. But if I decide to put all these items together, right, what the extraction will do is it'll add up everything. So it's first and foremost going to add up everything. And then if I press this button to extract it, it will delete those items too. So Now we received $70 from the combined total of the items. And now our cash is at 1,070. And I don't know if I'm gonna make it so it's players will probably have their cash saved outside of the game. So it's it carries over in matchmaking, and players can they'll probably make a little shop so players can like show off what they have in their elevator, make their elevators look nice for cosmetics. And they could put like different useful things like cameras and all that into their little elevators, just to give players more personalization. I feel like in procedurally generated games in general, uh, the way the developers give players a way to express themselves is via the character. But I feel like not a better solution, because this works very well for characters. But a way to keep players engaged, especially in multiplayer games, is give players their own little space. A way to express them. Still would keep it within the world bounds. Like if it was Call of Duty, they'll keep that art style, keep those objects that you would see in real life. But give them a way to experience. And this would not work in Call of Duty, by the way. That was a terrible example. But this is just putting it out there. Um, it's because the elevator kind of acts as a safe space, but it's not a safe space. So yeah, it acts as a safe space, but it's not really a safe space. So players, I want to give a sense of false comfort. Um, but then players should still be happy when they see their elevator. So right now, if you see, if I like press this again, right, nothing's in there, and I get nothing. So that's, yeah. I don't think this is worth anything. This is worth nothing, right? So if I do this and I put it in there, extract it, yeah, I get nothing. So that's a good way of making sure players aren't just selling random things like that are useful to other players, because well, they can. It's kind of trolling. Um, so this next system will be our final system. This is a kind of a shorter devlog. The interaction system works very well. And this is all the basic prototype stuff. Everything that happens in the game will come from a combination or just one of these things in general. So this is my favorite. So this is the tablet uplink zone. So every player has a tablet that can do different things. Like by like the tablets do a number of different things. Not every tablet does something different. They all do the same thing. They do a number of things for the player. It's essentially the player's lifeline. Um, and part of those functions, I won't go over everything. A part of that is to buy different items from the shop and keep an eye out on certain sections, and maybe to maybe locate where the AI could be, so you know that you're safe. Or maybe you want to find other players to kill them. I don't know. It's up to you. So if I left click here, I'll be put into a little tablet thing. And this will be replaced by the actual tablet mesh, and I'll probably adjust the camera to wherever I need and everything. But this is just to make sure that it's working. So I can use my mouse to kind of guide it, right? These are like the little border edges. I can't really go crazy far, but you can still see a little bit past those edges. So if I go, if I click on this button, right, this will take me to the not the shot. This will make me change my camera. Obviously, it doesn't do anything because I haven't programmed it. It's just kind of a prototype phase. But if I go here, press this button, it'll do something different. It will change the item in a shop. And this will I'll make like an on-screen HUD for the, not on-screen HUD, but on-screen visual display, the render textures for the cameras, and then for the actual shop items, I'll probably just turn those into an MP4, and and then if a player clicks on the MP4 or something, an item will spawn. Very, very simple. So yeah, so that's the game so far. If I press space, I'll instantly be transported out of the uplink, and yeah, and then if I click again, I'll go back into it. Now, if I'm in the uplink and a player goes up to me and wants to use the uplink, he will not be able to use the uplink. It's one per player. And there's different uplink stations, but they're not going to be in hallways. It's just going to be in rooms. So yeah. Be nice to your fellow players, or if you just want to be an asshole, I guess you can just wait. Really up to you. But yeah, that's the interactive section for Devlog. So that's the end of the video. But if you're curious, so me and my buddy we're gonna start working on the UI UX design. This is where I'm gonna start adding a partner. So we're gonna be working on the UI UX design together. That way we can make all these visuals make sense, and that way we can put them together for when we do the environment design. I'll be doing the environment design, and I'll probably have him help for level design to incorporate how we want the levels to feel. But yeah, so all we have left right now is the UI UX environment, the environment design, and then the audio design. Because as you can see, there is no audio cues in this game yet. And then what is it? Then we need to make our final changes. Or that'll probably be the last step, because right before that step, we need to make everything multiplayer. Right now, I'm setting everything up as right now everything's single player, and I'm setting up as a multiplayer framework. That's why he's put to like get the closest player. It's kind of multiplayer, but not multiplayer. I'm just trying to set up the framework so it's easier to set that up. It's funny, you just see him searching around. Yeah, very, very simple. Anyways, guys, that'll be it, guys. Have a good one.